What's up? So, those of y'all that know, I got a new oven, a new stove, because the one I previously had, the oven didn't work, but the stove did. So, I had to kick it off with something. And I was figuring what I'd kick a field goal with, it's going to be this. Alright, there's the chicken. I'm getting ready to season that. I've already cleaned it, got the fat off of it. And then I'm getting ready to put it down with the peach cobbler. Yeah, yeah. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm sure it'll be good. Here's my new stove, brand new. This will be the first thing I've cooked with it. I'm actually doing everything from scratch, the pie crust and all of that. Adding the peaches into the bowl. That one I added with the syrup. This one I drained some of the syrup so it won't be too syrupy. So I'll go ahead and add 4 teaspoons of sugar, white sugar, and then 4 teaspoons of brown sugar. And I'll do the same thing with the brown sugar. The brown sugar. Remember, 4 of those. Stir that in. Get that good stuff mixed in with that other good stuff. Now, a teaspoon of cinnamon. And about a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. One teaspoon of vanilla extract. Stir that good stuff in. Well, it already smells good, and I haven't even started baking. Check me out. Now I'm putting some lemon juice, and this is freshly squeezed. I'll do about 1 and maybe just a little bit more. I could just squeeze it. Just a little bit more. That's good. That's about 1.5 teaspoons. That's looking good. Okay. Now I got my pot on. I got it on high. Make sure you turn it on high. And then it's going to take a stick of butter. Let that melt a little bit. And then after that melts, then we can throw this in there. And it just has to melt down a little bit, but not 100%. Because it will melt eventually. I just added the peach cobbler, the peaches in there. And now I'm going to add some cornstarch, about 2 or 3 teaspoons. And that should be enough to thicken it. That's good. Stir that good stuff around. Check me out. It's gonna be good. While that's boiling and thickening, actually I can stir it a little bit more because it is starting to thicken. It's supposed to be thick, like kind of like somewhat like a paste, and you use the cornstarch to get it to that point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. Boy, that looks good. I almost can't talk. I'm going to go I'm going to go ahead and start this oven, because you want the oven to be hot before you start baking, or before you put this in there. want to make sure that oven is hot. So I give that about 10 or 15 minutes or so to heat up before putting this in the pan, and then putting the pan in there. Time to start making the overlay pie crust for the peach cobbler. So I just threw some flour into this pan. I'm gonna use about a 3/4 of a teaspoon of butter, and I'll do this all by hand. My hands are clean. And I'll mix it with some water until I can start getting it thick. Now, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm trying to speed it up and use one hand at the same time. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding teaspoons of water. I'm balling that up and kind of going at the same time. So I'm doing it as I go to get this powder. And see how right here, part of the flour, not powder, flour is still there. So I want to add a little more water to get this part, to scoop that part up and just make it like doughy. Add a little butter. I'm pinching off butter in case I didn't have enough butter. And then just adding water and getting it doughy before I roll it with the roller. Alright. See, now this is what I'll be rolling. Should look something like that. And be careful with the water because you don't want it too gooey. You want it moist but not too moist, because then it'll stretch and it won't spread right when you roll it. So make sure that you don't add too much water. And the butter kind of helps it stick together. And when it's a little bit too moist, one of the tricks is you can just use the moist part to scoop up the other part of flour that you left in here. And if you mess up that bad, just add some more flour and you'll get it. Making a mess here and rolling the pie crust. Trying to get it as wide as I can to cover the whole thing. Hopefully it does. If not, then I'm going to have to add some more. It's getting there. It's getting there. Here we go. Go easy over now. I'm stepping out on faith. Right. I did the pie crust for the bottom of the peach cobbler. This is my El Pollo Loco chicken. I'm going to be baking that. Here's my peaches. And then this is the top for the cobbler. Look at that. It's getting there. It is getting there. My chicken and my peach cobbler. I'm going to cook some spinach too to go with that.